Adam here from the Walser Automotive Group, and what I want to do today is take you on a test drive. So next to me here, I have a 2025 Subaru Crosstrek. We'll look at the interior, the exterior, some of the trim level specifics, then go for a spin around, see what it's like out on the road. Okay, so now we're behind the wheel of the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek, and this is the limited trim level. So there is a number of different trim levels. This one's going to give you a lot of pretty cool equipment, and it slots in just below the wilderness as far as being the top tier trim level. Now, I've got my cell phone with me, as we always do, and I've got wireless charging down here, and I've got wireless Apple CarPlay as well as Android Auto. So we'll touch on that a little bit more when we get going around, but for now, let's put it in drive, go for a spin. Now, the Subaru Crosstrek is going to come with a 2.5 liter, and that's going to be a Boxer 4-cylinder engine for the Limited. Now, basically, the only change for 2025 is the base 2-liter engine is only going to be found in the base tier trim level now. So they've kind of moved that around a little bit where it used to be in some of the other trim levels, but for now, it's going to be about 180 horsepower, and that's going to be found in most of the Subaru Crosstrek models. Now, this one, let's start with the exterior, because this is the Alpine Green, and I love this color. It suits the Crosstrek very nicely. I think it looks really good with kind of the silver and black wheels, and the Limited will get a little bit of that kind of charcoal accenting around the vehicle. You'll see it kind of slotted into the bumper and the grille, and then out back as well. Now, this one also will have steering responsive LED headlights up front, so that's a nice little added safety feature. And speaking of safety, the Subaru Crosstrek does get a lot of stuff. Now, the eyesight system is going to be what's built into these Subarus, and that gives you a ton of usability and safety. So if you click the little car on the menu here, that would pull up some of your vehicle controls or driving assistance, and you can also kind of look through some of that safety stuff if you want. If you want to turn it off, I don't recommend it, but that's where you can do that in the menu there. Pre-collision braking, forward collision warning. There's an adaptive cruise control system as well, plus blind spot monitoring and a lane departure warning system. There's so much stuff built into these vehicles, and obviously if you and your family are going to be in the vehicle, you're going to want to make sure you're safe, and the Subaru Crosstrek definitely delivers on that front. Now, most of the Subaru models in their lineup are going to come with the symmetrical all-wheel drive. Outside of the BRZ, which is a little bit sportier, that would be the rear-wheel drive sports car. But, I mean, the symmetrical all-wheel drive system, this one sits about 8 inches off the ground. If you're looking at the wilderness, it'll be a little bit taller. But with the added lift of the ride height, obviously, I'm fully dressed up because it's about 18 degrees today and we're very close to winter. So when that snow hits or whether it's raining really hard, having that symmetrical all-wheel drive giving you the sure-footedness is definitely going to help you out, not only being safer, but maybe you've been stuck in the alley before or you're stuck on the road. That symmetrical all-wheel drive can definitely help you out in a pinch. Plus, if you put snow tires on these are amazing winter vehicles. Now, what about the ride and drive? Obviously, it's cold. It's kind of just on the tail end of road construction season. It's very comfortable in here. It's smooth out on the road. Now, this does have the CVT transmission, but you can also use the paddle shifters here. So it kind of mocks like an 8-speed automatic. So if you're feeling a little sportier, you can click the S mode, and that's going to give you a little bit kind of more zip. Or if you don't want it, put it back in I. You don't ever have to touch the paddle shifters, and it's just easy, smooth, and comfortable on the road. Now, this one, like I said, does get the 18-inch wheels, but you still get quite a bit of sidewall on the tire. So when you're hitting some of those road joists or different potholes, you don't feel like you're going to bend a wheel or smack down in the road and hear it. It's very smooth and comfortable. Now, let's talk about the interior. So I know we touched on it a little bit at the beginning, but this does get the wireless Apple CarPlay on the screen here. Text messaging, Google Maps, Spotify, everything's built right into there. As well, you can use the Android Auto wirelessly. It's a seamless system. It works. The backup camera is also very clear in here and very easy to use. Pop it into reverse, and you also do get rear parking sensors. Now, if you're not using that, you can also just use the regular display, or if you want to just use Bluetooth in there, but that screen is also pretty straightforward and easy to use. Now, on the top of the screen, there is a little menu. You can hear as I click through, you can see the weather, maybe the radio you're listening to, that station would pop up, or just some of the vehicle features. And then you've also got the X mode. So what you can do is a snow and dirt, normal, or else a deep snow mode. So that's definitely going to help you out. Like I said, when that white stuff starts flying, if you do find yourself in a little bit bit of a sticky driving situation, you can use the X mode. That's going to give you the best possible bite and grip to help you out when you're driving around. Now on the digital gauge cluster here, you've got just a little screen that's pretty much going to just show you your pertinent information, whether that's your trip computer, like I said, the music you're listening to, or outside temperature. I like that. It's controlled by your left hand here and makes it really simple. Now the steering wheel is also great. This is a leather wrapped steering wheel in this model. It's also got the orange stitching on here, which does run through the vehicle and onto the seats, which are very comfortable. Now it's a power seat for the driver over here. You've also got lumbar control on this one, and they're heated for the driver and the passenger. So you've got just the high or low setting you can kick on. Like I said, it's about 18 degrees today, so I've had that seat on high most of the day today, and it is really comfortable. I think you could eat up a ton of miles from behind the wheel of the Crosstrek. Visibility is also great. That's something that every time I forget when I jump in one of these Subarus. You get this added little window down here just in front of the rear view mirror. So the mirror is kind of pulled back a little, but I can still see down to the road. I can see the road lines down there, especially with the blind spot monitoring paired into that. Visibility is great out of these little vehicles. Now, what about the second row? You're gonna have USB and a USB-C charger back there, and those seats are pretty comfortable as well, and I found headroom to be pretty ample. Where I sit at about 6'1", I didn't move the seat, I actually fit in the back, I had knee space and head space back there, which is definitely always a plus for me, being a little bit of a taller driver. But then if you're not hauling people around, you can fold those seats down. It's a 60-40 split, and you also get a cargo cover back there. So this one also does have the popular equipment package. So it adds those little covers to the back of the seats. So if you're throwing some of the camping equipment in there, maybe you're a mountain biker, you're throwing all your stuff in the back, you don't have to worry about scratching or tearing the back of the seats. So I do like that Subaru feature as well. So this one would come standard with the roof rack rails, but some of these Subaru Crosstreks will come with the crossbars as well. So you can throw the mountain bikes up there, like I said, maybe the kayaks or a cargo box. That makes it pretty convenient to just have a ton of space inside the vehicle, as well as having that little bit of extra room on top. So for the most part, I think the Subaru Crosstrek, if you're looking at maybe some other crossover SUVs or wagons, or you've been driving maybe an older Subaru for a while, there's a lot to like out of the 25 Crosstrek. So like I said, not a lot changed for the 2025 model from the 24, which was the redesign, but it just works. It's easy to drive. You hop in, you know how everything operates. It's not tricky to change the AC or to put it into drive. You can throw someone the keys, they can hop in and go. And I think that stands kind of for also day-to-day driving. This is a perfect daily driver. It's still easy to park. It's not a gigantic SUV, but you still get lots of room in the back or in the cargo area. So if you're running to work, picking up the kids, you can still put the car seats in the back and everyone can still be comfortable in here. Not to mention from the driver's seat, I love the seated position. The steering wheel is great. The infotainment system is very easy to use, especially with the wireless Apple CarPlay in here. So there's definitely a lot to like and a trim level to pick from that would probably suit most people's needs. But I mean, like I said, 95% of the time, if it's just you cruising in the car, it's quiet. I mean, at 50 miles an hour in here, it doesn't make a lot of road noise. And pricing, that's where the Subaru Crosstrek, I think, really shines. So the MSRP on this one is going to be around $34,000. And again, this is just shy of the Wilderness. I think that one comes in at about $35,000. So you're getting a lot of equipment for the money. When you look at the average new car price at over $48,000, I mean, this is $14,000 less, and you're still getting heated seats, wireless Apple CarPlay, great style and design on the exterior, comes in a bunch of really cool colors as well. So I think the best thing to do is get out, take one for a spin, and see what you think. Now that was just a quick look and drive at the 2025 Subaru Crosstrek. Now if you have any other questions, or you'd like to schedule a test drive, you can visit us online at walser.com or stop by anytime. We'd be more than happy to help. Thanks again for watching.